Hi, Sparkles. This is episode 177 of the Intuitive Wisdom podcast. Today, I am sharing my conversation with certified crystal healing therapist Eva Vestmann. She truly embodies her craft and shares with us the how-tos and benefits of working with crystals and crystal energy. And as you may be able to tell as I record this intro, I'm currently up-leveling and struggling with my voice a little bit, but I'm here.
Hi, and welcome to Intuitive Wisdom. I am your host, Kay Margaret Solorio. I am an author, spiritual teacher, and certified Angel Reiki Master. I believe that all the answers you seek are inside you. When you learn to discern between the ego and the intuition, tune into spirit, you can hear that whisper, your intuitive wisdom, answering your questions and showing you the next right step. On this podcast, we explore that connection and the good that happens in the world when you learn to hear your intuition, trust your intuitive wisdom, and allow your magic.
All right, Sparkles, quick announcement before we get to the fabulous interview. My book is available on Amazon, both in paperback and Kindle versions. The book is titled Make Ease Your Vibe. You can either search the title or my name, Kay Margaret Solorio, and find it. And love it, enjoy it, and get your copy. Bonuses are also available. I've created a whole bunch of bonus material for each chapter and a chapter outline. If you go to my website, deliciousease.com, and click on the book it says book in the header, and that'll take you to the book page, and you can put your name and your email address in and get access to all those bonuses. So we've also got our Center and Soul series that's running this month from May 1st to 31st. This is the last week, but if you want to get emails for each day, links to each episode, and journal prompts to go with each little action item as we work through different types of meditation, be sure to sign up at deliciousease.com/center for that daily inspiration. I'm also working on a couple new things for release in June, including a special for the podcast and how I've taken my energy work to the next level to help you. If you haven't already, be sure to follow and subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. And you can also go to my website. Again, that's deliciousease.com, and download a free 20-minute guided meditation that I've made for you, which will help you set an energetic anchor in your future self-reality, allowing you to more easily align with what you want and call it in. All right, now to the interview. Eva Vestmann is the owner and founder of ZenCity Studio. She is a certified crystal healing therapist who holds a BA design degree from Central St. Martin's. Growing up in Iceland in a spiritually attuned family, Eva has had a deep passion for crystals for over 20 years, and their transformative energy defines her work today. By harnessing the natural energy vibrations of each stone, Eva helps clients realign their chakras, release blockages, and achieve a harmonious flow of energy. She believes crystals are essential in self-care rituals, and overall, they will improve your well-being and quality of life. Without further ado, here is my conversation.
Thank you again for joining me today. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. So happy to be here.
Wonderful. Well, you may know on this podcast, I like to explore the magic that happens when you learn to hear and trust your intuitive wisdom. And so I was curious, what is one of the greatest insights you've received from your intuitive wisdom and acted on?
Oh, yes. There's been many, so many. And I act quick. I don't hang
Don't
around.
question it.
Yes, so many intuitive nudges. Like, for example, packing up my whole life and moving to a country I'd never been to. And I didn't speak the language either.
Amazing.
Or when I started dating my husband, we were living together and engaged within 5 months. And now we've been married now for 19 years.
Wow. It's not,
Yeah, so
it's funny. I will just share too. I have somewhat similar story, not exactly the same, but I moved across the country from the East Coast to the West Coast, which felt like moving to a different country. The culture is very
yeah,
different. The language is
wow.
obviously the same, which my husband reminds me of regularly because he came from a different country to this country. Um, but also my husband too. That's a good point. When I met him, we weren't living together that quickly, but we were engaged within 2 months of starting to date and
Yeah,
married
awesome.
within the year. So also very much like, okay, are you in?
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
exactly. Oh, I love that. Ah,
It's amazing.
that's fantastic. Yeah, no, there's been so many things like that. And I guess, when you are like connected to your intuition, and you know the difference between, the intuitive voice and, your ego voice, or frankly, anxiety, the trust is there, these big decisions, they're
Right.
really not that hard to act on.
Yeah,
The
the
more,
unknown becomes a lot less scary.
yeah,
That's a really
absolutely.
good point. Well, you work with crystal energy to heal and help others thrive. And I have had the opportunity, it's been a year or two now, though, to receive an energy healing from a crystal healer with a different energy healer. But I found them really powerful. So I was curious if you could tell us more about what a crystal healing session with you is like and what benefits you see in your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say no session is the same, really. But I always just start my sessions with a friendly chat, just to see if the client is, experiencing any discomfort or any issues that they would like to explore in the session. But during a session, like in general, I would just go through the chakras, our energetic centers. I mean, yeah, as you probably know, we all have over hundreds energetic centers. But I like to work with at least nine of the main ones, because each chakra governs different aspects of our well-being.
Mhm.
So because each chakra is connected to one area of the body and an emotional state. So if they become out of balance in energy, or even blocked, that can create like a physical and or emotional discomfort. So if you feel like, let's say, if you're having trouble sleeping, or you feel anxious, or unmotivated, or even if you have like a physical symptom like headaches or stomach cramps or something, chances are that your energy center that aligns with that area is, out of balance. And we want our energy centers to be balanced and the energy flowing between them. So, if you understand, and work with our chakras, we can remove these energetic blockages and, just enhance our energy. And then, we achieve like a greater balance, like alignment. And here is where the crystals come in. So I think crystals are obviously one of the most beautiful, amazing gifts from Mother Earth. And they've been used for centuries to help, treat the body holistically for various like ailments. And I think, yeah, so it's each crystal vibrates differently, at a different frequency, and therefore it can communicate with the energy flow of our body. And as I place each crystal on each chakra, they work to remove blockages and sort of like restore the natural flow of the energy while they are stimulating your chakra. And some people they're very sensitive to this, and they can feel the vibration from the crystal, or they feel like a slight sort of pulling in the energy, because I go through the chakras with the crystal wand, clearing stagnant energy, and they can feel like it's like a slight pushing or pulling in the energy. And many people say that they feel heat, like they feel like a heat vibrating from the crystal. And I noticed that when they say that, it's usually just only on one chakra, which I think is really interesting. Even if I'm, working with maybe seven or nine of them, they feel the heat only in one place. But yeah, everyone is different, and you may not have the same experience twice in a row.
Yeah, no,
But
you
I
don't,
think,
because you
yeah,
change. I feel
absolutely.
like
But
it relates kind of that energy healing almost it feels like personal development and that you have this next layer and this next layer. And when you're ready to work with, release something or work with something, then that's available and spirit really meets you where you are each time.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I
But I
was
think
sorry.
overall, like people, they definitely, this it's so different, but overall they leave the session very calm. Like that's the main main thing I take from it. They're very calm and relaxed after a session. Yeah.
That's amazing. I feel like I can feel that
Oh,
right
yeah.
now, just talking about it. I was curious as you were talking how you think of your crystals. Do you think of them as like tools of the trade and tools to work with? Do you think of them as their own spirits and like they're almost like coworkers you're working with them, or they kind of call to you and you're facilitating them using their energy to help someone else? How do you view that
Yeah.
relationship working with the crystals?
I talk to them like, they work with me, I work with them. I talk to them, I ask them to help me with like so many different things. But yeah, I definitely think of them like tiny little, I don't know, souls or something that you you can definitely communicate with them, and program them to just, for a specific purpose or an intention. You
Mhm.
can definitely do that. Just ask them to help you with whatever it is that you wanted to work on. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. You had also, I think I saw some on your website and last month in my community we were talking about feminine power and intuition. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about what you've seen or how you've worked with crystals to help reconnect with feminine power and intuition.
Yes. Oh, I love this question. Because this is the topic. It's like it's probably one of my all-time favorite topics.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and I just did a webinar about this, or like around this topic the other day. But yes, I mean, like the feminine power and intuition, it's just, let's dive into this. First of all, I think people like some people get confused, but like, what is feminine power? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it
So,
is confusing.
um, I think I use the term feminine power, but many people talk about the divine feminine
Mhm.
and the divine masculine. And, it's the same thing. We all embody both of these energies. So this is definitely not about gender at all. We all have both feminine and masculine energy within us. And the divine masculine is associated with, its structure and logic and taking action. And the divine feminine is its qualities like compassion, our inner wisdom, it's our connection to nature, and last but not least, it is our intuition. I think it's this deeply intuitive, creative, and nurturing energy. And it's really about being being receptive. So no, it's our ability to receive, receive love, receive compliments, wealth, abundance, money. And are we open to receive? Because like so many aspects of our life is masculine driven, like our careers, it's all like go 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 go, which is great, but it's so often like there's not enough balance, you know and being in your feminine power for me is about just owning your softness, you know and sensitivity. And to see these to see those qualities as your strength, because it's about embracing this unique inner wisdom that you have and standing in your power with confidence. And you can definitely work with crystal energy to enhance your feminine energy, to reconnect with your intuition and to strengthen it. Yeah, so like if I give you an example, and this is like I did a little demonstration in this webinar the other day, but you can do a little like third eye activation using amethyst crystal, to basically stimulate and open up your third eye. And this is pretty simple to do, and if you do it regularly, you will start to strengthen your intuition and feel more confident in your feminine power, no matter what gender you are.
Yeah, I often talk about it
Yeah.
in terms of like the doing and the being. And in
Mm,
my journey, I first focused on the doing. Like, what am I doing? How can I do better to feel better? And then I kind of organized that and I got a lot happier with my life and I was much more efficient at the things I was doing and I had more quality time and I really enjoyed that. But I was like, wait, that's not the whole equation. It's how you do things, it's how you be. And I feel like
mm,
the way you describe the feminine energy is that balance that you're not just what you do, but how you do it and how you enjoy the moment and are in it. Like you said that. I like also thinking about it as the receiving mode because
mm.
there are two sides to every coin and prayer and things. So that's really helpful to visualize that. But I didn't think about I'm going to try amethyst on my third eye
Yeah,
and
go for
open that up.
it.
That's exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely
Um,
go.
I also wanted to talk about some of your products, which I was
Mm,
really impressed by. You have candles and jewelry and journals. And a lot of times when I've talked about crystals before with others, the idea of not just using them during meditation, or having them around, but carrying them with you or wearing them,
mm.
it can be a different way of working with the energy. So I wanted to hear more about the products that you make and how you came to that and how you see that as a different way to be with the crystals.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have crystals all around my house. Um, And I mean, yeah, I started just making crystal bracelets just for myself, really. Just experimenting with having different energy around me all day, not just when I sat next to a crystal like on my desk or in the living room. So I was experimenting with combining two of them in a bracelet and carrying it, around me all day. And then everyone kept asking me like, "Oh, where did you get this? And where can I get this?" And and that's really how ZenCity Studio was born.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just started like that with a few bracelets, and now we have crystal candles and all these other goodies, um, crystal kits, and yeah, we handcraft all our products in our studio, and I
Wow.
just I source the crystals from wholesalers here in the UK. Um, and yeah, it's just been growing. We're 3 years old this year.
Yay, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
thank you.
Oh, wonderful. I was curious too. We've talked about, I could just imagine like all these vast amounts of crystals that you get to be around. But for someone who's just starting, where would you suggest they start either with choosing a crystal or working with a crystal? What's a good place to start?
Right. It's funny that I get this question all of the time.
Do you?
Yeah, because, I find that women that I speak to, especially, they are so drawn to crystals. They love them. And I
Beautiful.
I I completely understand because I do that too. And but then they're like, oh, what does this do? How can I use it? I don't know, and they might have a few crystals like lying around their house and they just don't really know how to work with them, or they just forget about them. Um, and this is really like the reason why I created our membership site. It's just, it's really so all of these women can have like a source where they can learn about how to harness the energy from crystals, and just there's so many of them. It's
Mhm.
quite overwhelming, and you don't know where to start. Um, but obviously, I think it's important to think about what you want to work with. Like, if are you trying to attract a certain energy,
Mhm.
or that's just if you want to, let's say, um, like you said, you use them with meditation. There's obviously certain crystals that are fantastic in strengthening your psychic abilities. Um, I think celestite is great one to meditate with because it both calms the mind and gives, like a higher awareness. Um, but then there's, others that ground, the crystals that ground us, and then there's crystals that raise your vibration. So it's just so difficult to say, oh, you need this, and this, and
Start
then you're
with
set.
you. Yeah.
But obviously, I would say there's like, you just get like 3 to 5 and feel, just get the ones that you're drawn to and then
Yeah.
learn about them because that's usually the energy that you need right now is the one that you are drawn to. That's your
Do you,
intuition telling you.
yeah,
No.
amen.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one to work with right now?
I always work with selenite every day.
Oh,
It's just so cleansing and I love it. And I have it like on my tarot decks and stuff because it's just so cleansing of the energy. Completely gets rid of stagnant energy. But then there's different ones, that just depends on what you're working towards. And I always have hematites. I've got a hematite anklet that I like to, when I'm doing crystal healing sessions, I always put that anklet on just to ground my energy, when I'm doing a session with a client. I think that's really important to protect and ground yourself.
yes.
So if you're a healer, you should definitely think about that. But yeah, I do have a little crystals for beginners, like a PDF, if people want to just see, one
Perfect.
of the most common ones that you can get almost everywhere. And then, yeah, but I would definitely say if you are drawn to it, that's probably a reason why you need that energy in your life.
Agreed. I'm curious also, is there one you covet that you haven't worked with yet?
No, I'm pretty much. Mm,
Found all your crystals.
yeah, I use them quite a lot. I mean, there was one that I got quite recently, and I'm working with it like with Amethyst. So it's like it is one of those quite strong quartz ones that really raise your higher awareness and your vibration. And so that's one I'm trying to like mix up the energies, trying to find how they work together. And I think, it's called demergerite. It's quite hard to say, like most of them, but yeah. So it does work wonderfully with amethyst. You get really quite a strong vibration from both of them. Do you have them together in your meditation?
So I was curious a little bit too, to know a little about your story and what initially drew you to crystals, besides they're very pretty.
Yeah. Crystals have been a part of my life for a very long time. I come from a very spiritual family. My mother and my sister are both light workers and mediums. And I remember starting to collect crystals when I was probably around 8 years old. And I was just always been drawn to them. But when I was about 14, I started getting very interested in tarot and astrology. And I was doing yoga. And this is a long time ago, um, when yoga was not popular or trendy like at all. And I was like the absolute youngest one in this one class I could find, and it was just really eye-opening for me. It was not like it was available in every gym like it is now.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's sort of the time where I started making a connection between it all.
The energy.
And I've, always been very connected to nature, um, and always been a bit obsessed with the moon and the moon phases. Um, yeah, the crystals have always been sort of in my life and like off and on. Um, yeah, they're just wonderful to be around.
That's amazing. They're pretty new in my life. My daughter has always loved rocks and always collected things since
Yeah.
wherever she
Oh.
saw them, since I can remember. And then when I started meditating regularly, I would ask to borrow hers. Now I have a few of my own, but I think it's interesting how they come into your life.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
Well, is there anything else you would like to add to our conversation?
Um, let's see. I don't know. I mean, I think if I could maybe talk a little bit about the new thing I'm doing, which
Yeah,
is the
please.
the membership. Um, so because I'm really excited about this.
Good.
Um, so yes, we just recently opened this online hub. It's designed for women who, as I said before, want to learn how to harness the energy from crystals and how to strengthen their intuition and just learn about different types of energy work. So there's this access to a library of classes on energy work, crystal healing, intuition. There's all sorts of like fun rituals and workbooks and resources you can print out. And we have this private community of awesome, like-minded women, so we are really are building a sisterhood there. And it's just so lovely to connect and share tips and experiences. Plus, every month there's like a new content coming into the hub, and guest speakers are going to be joining the community as well. So there's always like something fun and exciting happening every month. And yeah, we all can like grow and nurture our inner garden together. So I'm really excited that this is just launched and we're getting together these awesome women in the community. And so yeah, I would love to shout about that.
That sounds amazing. And where would somebody go to find more information?
So you can go to I think our Instagram is probably our main sort of social platform where you can find everything, all these links under the highlight sections, plus our freebies, and you can watch the webinar I talked about earlier. But the website is zencitystudio.co.uk, and that's where you can find all our products. Plus, you can see links to the ZenCity membership. Yeah, check it out, definitely. So much fun.
Wonderful. Yeah,
Mm.
I'll make sure I include all those links in the show notes. Um,
So
yeah, well, thank you so much. I really appreciated this conversation.
it's been lovely chatting to you.
Hey, Sparkles, thank you for listening to this episode of the Intuitive Wisdom Podcast. If you haven't already, click subscribe and follow. And if you love this episode, please leave a review and share it on Instagram and tag me at Delicious Ease. That's DELICIOUSEASE, so that I can say thank you. Every review helps another person find this podcast and learn to welcome their own intuitive wisdom. You can download your free 20-minute guided ideal day meditation on my website, deliciousease.com. Again, that's DELICIOUSEASE. ease.com. And have you bought my book yet? Now available on Amazon, be sure to find my book, Make Ease Your Vibe, for mindset, energy, and time strategies that help you raise your vibration and enjoy the life you live. See you next week.